the coupon, right? So after that, what you should do is whatever the coupon that you are getting, so you can log in with your personal email ID only.
Okay.
So by logging with
Login
your
personal email ID means the Microsoft site where we need to
yeah,
select the
see, when
coupon.
you log in, even though if you don't have your Microsoft ID with your email ID, right, it will ask you to go with the Microsoft ID only. So you can go to the AI 900 certification site. So there you will get this one, right? Schedule
Yes.
with
Yeah.
Pearson. So
Yeah.
once you get the coupon, go here, and after going here, so that the code will be send it to you within 1 or 2 business days, Nazim.
Okay. Why? Because they need to request for 50% coupon, and once they get that one, they will forward
That
it to me.
coupon, yeah. So whatever that coupon that you will be receiving, so with that you can log in with your see. This is my in this you will be having account with your organization as well. So this
Mhm.
is my personal one. So
Okay.
each one will be having MCID. So when you're requesting the access token also, make sure that you're going to request to take up the exam with this particular account.
Okay.
So
Okay.
then only you come to this page here. What I'll suggest you is here also you are going to take up the certification, right? Provide the basic details. After that, click next. There is an option where exactly you can apply for the discount. So in my organization, what is happening is when you provide here your coupon which you are getting, so we will get only 50% discount.
Yes. Even for
So
us also. Yeah.
yeah. So what exactly we used to do is we used to provide here my mail ID, and so I can just getting some option here either providing the discount as such. So we were getting less discount. So what we'll do is we'll just provide our office email, my personal email ID. I don't check for a discount. I'll just go ahead. I don't
Okay.
apply here discounts. Just simply give your email ID, go ahead. So then it is asking me to schedule the exam. Okay. So when you go here, schedule the exam. So yeah, so it will ask me for the exam date. So you will be having different slots to schedule it. Okay.
Okay.
So anyhow, it is recorded, right? You can
Yeah.
refer.
It is
This is
recorded. Yeah. Actually, I think there are some conditions they have set for to get the 50% coupon also. I need to clear
mm,
some test. So the
yeah, it's
test,
okay.
the practice test is
Mm. That is
assigned
good
again
for
as the
you
coupon.
actually.
Yeah.
Mm. So
So again,
here
I
we'll
need
be
to.
having
Mhm.
mm, this one on you are going to go with the online, right? So you can go with that. So these are the condition. You should make your computer has reliable webcam and internet. So testing space should be good because they'll be keep watching, and you should have your ID card with you. Then so you need to log in 30 minutes before the exam. These are the conditions. Okay.
And how about going to the centers and attending the exam, Mamta,
Yeah, that really I don't recommend you
in
to go with
person
that.
at the test center?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what. Like you should expect, you should have your ID card. So you have to be on the center around 30 minutes before, and also
okay.
formalize. You should be familiarize yourself with the testing experience, and also review items that you
Testing
have.
experience.
It's kind of um, like we should have an erasable notepad and pen will be provided. They'll only provide. You should not take it up anything. So, what are the procedures that they'll follow? You should be good with that.
Oh, okay.
So, review the items that you can have during testing. So, here you can just go and check what are the items that you can have. Only that you are going to have it, or else you should not go with the extra items into the exam. They are like very strict, Nazim.
Okay.
Even when you take it up online, right? Some
Hmm.
person will be keep monitoring. Like from outside, if someone says some noise is there, immediately they'll ask you to show the entire room.
Okay. That
But
is, yeah.
what I'll recommend is when you go for the online, right? Even
Mm.
though if you feel some difficulty, you can immediately reschedule it. And also what you can do is one more thing, you will be not in a hurry that I should go on time to the centers morning only, like that. So you can take it up in your preferable time. So what I will be doing is, for me, during the weekdays it is so formal regular, so all the things will go on time for me. So during that time I'll just take at 10 o'clock, because sometimes I'll be in the waiting. So, and also I wanted to take completely 65 minutes, I can do that. And it's like before that time I'll make sure that 2 hours I'm going to review properly, the revise the concepts which I'm going to take. So as such I'll get some time, comfortable time. That's why I'll just prefer that.
Total
Yeah.
65 minutes exam.
Yes,
Yeah,
you will be getting
700
65
questions.
minutes.
Okay,
Yeah, and there is
1700
no
marks, 700.
distractions. Like if you are in the
No,
if you
here
are
it
in the
is
centralized
distraction,
room,
Mamta.
right?
In my area, right,
Mm,
there is a
mhm.
distraction. That is one of the core reason.
If you sit with your one of the room.
Mm, Actually, my house is the ground floor and it is a corner two side rows. I mean two side roads actually. I'm
Mm-hmm.
at ground floor and I
Mm-hmm.
doubt the windows also, if vehicle pass, right, it creates sound
Oh,
and both
okay.
sides. And
See,
that's the reason I'm
see, it's your
yeah.
comfortability again.
uh,
So you can just go with the in person at the center also. So here, once you decide that you need to schedule the time duration, they'll be giving you the certain. Here I'll be so you are going to which language that you are comfortable, English. So you should obey with all the conditions that they are given. So after that, view testing policies that they'll be giving. So yeah. So here, once you are done, you need to schedule the time. So they'll be giving us policies only. Yeah.
and
Candidate
center
currently has an
uh,
open registration for the exam. Any registration? Yeah, for me it is already registered. Like I have some other exam registered. That's why like I'm not able to do that. You will get the
no.
slots. So
Okay,
which slots you wanted to take it up, during that slot only you should able to take up the certification. That will be good for you. In that way you can try to schedule it. Like when you are doing it, if you face any difficulty, do let me know. Okay.
sure, sure, definitely.
Okay, fine. So
Tomorrow
you are able
anyway
to
I will
go.
schedule actually.
Yeah, sure.
Tomorrow.
So
Yeah.
yep. So you are able to go through the slides.
Slides and mainly the video that we have
Mm-hmm.
last class, right,
Mm-hmm.
Mamta? Along with that, I have gone through some other questions
Mm-hmm.
also in parallel. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because totally today I
Mm-hmm.
dedicated fully to this one only, to
Very good.
900, yeah, AI
Mm.
900, and tomorrow I will do my work, my company work actually.
Sure,
But today
sure, sure.
totally dedicated to this. Uh,
At least you feel some confidence, right? Confidence.
Yes, yeah, actually, I even did some YouTube, the frequent questions, the FAQ questions actually that are coming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's better to you also teach me, and also I will also go
Yes, yes. It should
around
be
the
two ways.
corners. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, fine. We'll go with the concept.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. So till we'll just start learning, understanding about the basic fundamentals of the machine learning. So here, yeah. So we know already when we talk about the machine learning. So it is like both. Okay. It will be having.
sorry. Mm.
Yeah. One second. I'll just reshare my screen. You're able to see my screen now.
Yeah, I'm able to see your screen.
Okay. So when we talk about the machine learning, so we know that it is a like it is one of the pillar for the artificial intelligence. So if I'll be developing any application based on the AI, so the major pillars like NLP and deep learning. So apart from that, we'll be having the machine learning. So these are the major pillars. So how machine learning is going to work is it is kind of a combination of statistics and mathematical modeling of the data. Like we'll be taking different parameters of the data and we are going to get decide the outcome how exactly we are expecting that data to be modeled. So the model which we had decided, it should give me the outcome which I am expecting. So in this way, here the fundamental idea is to get the past observations which are present. So based on that, I'm going to predict the unknown outcomes or the values. Because even if I take the weather forecasting, like so when we do weather forecasting, like if I wanted to tell by using AI the weather which will be having in tomorrow, so what it will do is it will be collecting all together the previous historical data. So based on certain parameters like so maybe the temperature today and moisture condition which is present today and wind condition which is present today and also the sunlight the how rays how the strength of the rays that I'm having and which month the position of the earth. There are lot of parameters which I'll be taking the prediction on this particular features, and based on that I'm going to decide the weather condition. So this is like we are going to take all the past observations that we have made, and based on that we are going to predict the value which is not known for us. So in that way we can define. So how that is how exactly for me the machine learning means ML will be giving me the output. So here few examples are there. So one is like when we are working in the ice cream store, like when I wanted to when I'm very curious about my sales. Okay, so during that time I wanted to use an app to predict my sales based on the condition. So when I wanted to predict based on the so during that time, so when it usually even we'll start analyzing if I wanted to do myself. So I'll just do analyzing. Okay, so during particular period like when there is very heat, when the more it is more summer, during that time it will go very higher. So it is winter, it will go down. So like there are like some few weather condition which will vary and few festive occasions which it is going to vary. So in that way we can just combine day to day historical sales for about 1 year period. So based on that data I can try to predict so how exactly my sales will be. So here when I wanted to do this particular sale, so I can record the weather records and predict how ice cream the given day based on weather records how it is going to sell. So here uh, this here we took only we can take one parameter to predict the value or we can take the multiple parameters. So, but when we talk about these parameters, which we are going to consider this, whatever the parameters that we'll be taking, so those are considered as the features. Okay.
Okay.
So the outcome which I am predicting. So the outcome here, so here the weather is the parameter feature which I am trying to consider for my sales representation. So here sales I wanted to predict it. So this is called as the label. Okay, so
Okay.
here another example. Uh, so based on the feature, and you will get the different scenarios, and they'll ask which is label, which is feature. Uh, Nazim, so
Yeah.
that you need to able to understand. So here, doctor might use clinical data from past patients to run automated tests and predict whether a new patient is at risk of diabetes or not. So like they can take various here multiple parameters that we are going to take. So based on the weight, blood sugar, blood glucose level and other measurements. So I'm going to predict whether they are likely to have the diabetes or not. So here which is feature, which is label.
Here, risk. risk from diabetes is
What
the
is?
feature
Yes, diabetes is the label.
label and
Label is the
weight.
outcome.
Yeah.
So weight, blood glucose level, these are the different features that we are going to predict. So
Okay.
researchers in the Antarctic region, so they wanted to get the past observation. So what are all the different types of to identify? So different penguin species which are present in that particular region. So so to identify the species of the penguin type, they will use the different parameters like birds, flippers, bill, and other physical attributes. So here, which is label, which is feature,
Species penguin species is the feature. Sorry,
that is
yeah,
the label.
label and
So
parameters are
these
bird
are,
flipper. Yeah,
yes, these are
features.
the features. One second, Naji.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Naji. Okay.
No problem.
So, yeah. So here, this is what the steps we had given, how we are going to learn, I mean, as a function, how exactly we are going to predict the machine learning. So we were discussing that it will be taking some statistic data, and based on that, we are going to design a mathematical model to give us the output. So here, uh, what exactly the steps that we follow is whatever like whatever the statistical data that we are going to get, so that we are going to uh, make it in the form of a function. We are going to define that to get to create a model. We are going to create it as a function. Okay, means it is going to, we are going to make this function to calculate an output value. So based on whatever the input values that we are going to create, means, so whatever the function that we are going to define, so it will take the input values, multiple input values, and it is going to give me the output which I am expecting. Okay, so here, this process which we are going to define our values and define what is the outcome that we are going to get, design the particular statistical model, how exactly I'm going to expect the output, based on which input I'm going to expect the output values. So that process of defining the function is called as, we are going to train a model. Okay, so that process we are going to say it as, so we are training the model. Okay,
What is
so
difference
this,
between machine learning and function, Mamta?
okay, so uh, when this is machine learning is the process which includes all these stages, Nazim. So if I wanted to develop a ML, okay, one machine learning model, so I have
Okay.
to pass through all these stages. The first
Okay.
stage in ML is training the model. So for training the model, what I'll be taking? So I'll be taking the different data which is present already with me.
Yes.
Okay, so this function, okay, after we define the function, whatever we had defined, we'll use it to predict a new values in the process. Means whatever the values that we are going to give, so how exactly it should define, we are going to set it. So that we are going to call it as a, this is training a model. So once we train a model, what exactly we are going to use? By running that particular model. So when I wanted to predict, like tomorrow I wanted to get the weather condition. So I have already set the trained the model. Okay. These are the historical data. So after training that, if I want, this is like last 1 year data I had given, and I had given some mathematical process I had been set up, how exactly it should give me the output. Okay. After that, what happens? Tomorrow I wanted to predict what is the weather condition. During that time, what I'll do? So I'll give my inputs and I'll try to get the output from that, right?
Yeah, for definitely function might have some parameters, and
Yes.
based on that parameters, it gives the
It will
output.
analyze, and
Huh.
then whatever the way it should analyze, I had been given. So accordingly, it will process and it will give me the output. So
So
that
machine
what?
learning. Sorry to interrupt,
No
Mata.
problem.
So
No
machine
problem.
learning is an a high level layer. Under that, we'll have functions through which we train this machine learning. Is it something like that?
No, no, no. So function here, we are function is kind of a process, like internally how
Process the data.
exactly we are going. Yeah. So how exactly we are going to create a model. This is one of the way how exactly we are going to build our model, ML
Okay.
model.
So
So these are
yeah.
like different terminologies that we'll be using in the ML. So we can just here the function what will as means just ML we are seeing it as a function. That's it. That is one of the process. That's it. Nothing apart from that.
Okay.
So
Function
here the
itself we are
function.
considering as an machine learning
Yes.
algorithm, something
Ye-
like that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So here whatever the when we are defining the function, whatever the values that we are giving, so whatever the way that I'm going to train my model in inbuilt process, how exactly it should react. So for that we are going to say it as we are going to train a model. So after
Okay.
training model, I should give my input and I can predict the way value. So I can give my today's weather condition. So I wanted to predict like okay, I wanted to get an outcome. So okay, what is the sale percentage today? Okay,
Mm.
so that way. So using the trained model, so we are going to predict the new values. For that process, we called as a inferencing.
Okay. Okay.
So basically, these are the two different stages that I'll be doing. So first stage is like I should train a model, then I am going to get a predicted value. So for that, we are going to say it as a inferencing.
Inferencing. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
So here you can get the clear data. So these are all different historical data that you are having. So during this data, this is the outcome. During this data, this is the outcome I have. So with this data, this is the outcome that I have. These are X and Y values. See, when I'll be collecting the historical data, so I might be predicting what is the outcome on that day, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So based on this outcome, this is the function, or I can say algorithm that I'm going to define it.
So
So
why
okay.
you will get only after it is going through all the stages, right? One, two, three, four, or once I get the outcome, then I need to send to this two that whatever the calculation, mathematical calculation is being done in the stage
No,
two.
no, no. So to see, to train
This is
a
a function.
model only, first I'll be taking the means let's assume that 100 days data I am taking previously.
Okay.
So each 100 days data, so this is the weather condition. So this is
Okay.
the like other
Outcome.
parameters.
Mm.
Yeah, weather condition I can take it as X1. So on some other occasion related conditions, so I'll be taking as a X2. So during that time, I have around 60% sale. So 1,000 I'll
Okay.
take it. In 1,000 I'll be having 60% sale during
Okay.
this weather. So next day I have different weather. First day around 60 percentage is I think I have around 27 degrees Celsius. Okay. Different wind, how much moisture was present in the climate, like different parameters I'll take it.
So the
X1,
first
X2,
stage is
X3,
like
like that.
we are giving data,
Data
the
collection.
existing
Yes.
statics, I mean,
Yes.
old
Yes.
data,
What are the
historical.
input values we can say it as like, sorry, these are not the input, data set preparation. Historical data set preparation. Based on the historical data, so we are going to create our own data set. So during this
Okay.
data set, we can give various parameters. So that is what we are
Okay.
going to see it as a feature. So that feature we are going, whatever we are considering as a feature, the condition which I'm going to predict the outcome. So those we are considering it as an X value. And
Yeah.
during these conditions, I'm expecting I'm getting Y result, Y as an outcome.
Label. Yeah.
Yes. So
Fine.
this is
Yeah.
the historical data. So based on that, I will apply certain algorithms, mathematical algorithms. So, okay. So this is, so during this condition, this is the outcome. So whether it is like how exactly it should do as a curve. Sometimes what happens when the day wise I'm doing, so during the morning it will be more sale. During the evening, 4 to 6, it will be less. So like that. So how exactly it should be predict, that we are going to define here. So what is the different way it is going to fluctuate the data? So we are going to define some mathematical values and calculations. So I'll be using statistical values, statistical, what are the different processes there. So I'm going to apply it over here. So
Okay.
when I apply certain statistics, if I'm going to follow, so based on that, I can try to set my algorithm ready. So once my mathematical calculations means kind of, once I'm trained, means here I'll take the data, I'm going to define a rules how we should behave. So it means we had been trained my model successfully over here. So
Okay.
once I'm going to train my model, I'm going to give the new input values. Okay, so this is the trained with old data and all. Now if I provide the new input value, so I'm going to get the particular outcome from here. So today's, this is the new input value. So from this
Yeah.
I can expect the actual predicted value. So this prediction stage which we are calling is called as the inferencing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this, whatever the process that we are going to get the historical data and trying to build a model, that is called as training the model. Is it clear?
Yeah. Yeah. I got.
We'll do
Yeah.
practically. Then
Mm,
you will be clear.
yeah. Yeah. I understood. First step is like to input the historical
Mm,
data, and
mm,
second one is setting up some algorithms. Like as you
mm,
mentioned, in the if
mm,
it is a daytime sales, then it has some different rules, and for nighttime it is some different. Till that
mm,
model is being trained, first two stages
mm,
model is being trained. Now we will going to give new input values to this model, and
mm.
that is x1 x2 x3 that you have given, and the final result will be like the one y we will get,
We are able
that
to
is a
predict
label,
with the new.
new
Yes.
value,
So this
new
is the
value.
new predicted value from the ML model with the new inputs that I'm going to give it.
Okay. Yeah.
So for this, there are different types of the ML algorithms which are present. We are going to see that. Okay. So here, when we are training the data sets, usually when I wanted to have this particular, so training in the sense defining the algorithms and having data set, right? So if I wanted to use my data sets, it consists past observation, like historical data which is present. So we will be stored that, correct? So that is what, like we are going to have the, these are all noun values, right? In his, in the last, during the previous region. So what is the input that, what was the condition? What is the output that we got? Like that. So these are all noun values already. Okay. And we'll use this to train a model to predict with the unknown value. So here, whatever model that I'm going to predict is also, it is also a label. Okay, this
Okay.
is what, like this is the, whatever the outcome is the label, whatever the inputs noun values that I'm going to give is the feature. That is what here they're telling.
Yeah.
So here in mathematical terms, so we'll see the features referred to this using the shortened variable name x and label referred as always y. Means what is the outcome that I'm expecting is, right? So that we
Yeah.
refer it as a y. So whatever the known values that I'll be giving, so that is referred as an x. So here we are going to represent it as a vector array when I wanted to represent. So in one particular uh, outcome to predict, so I might be taking multiple noun values. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some vector was there.
It is kind of a, they are selling that vector array. So vector array usually will
Multiple parameters.
yes, like the difference between the vector means collection concept
Scalar
Java.
and vector.
Hmm. So
Uh,
when you use the
mm,
collection like vector, basically when you are using the collection itself, like you are going to have multiple different types of the data as a single array, a single uh, uh, set or
yeah, I
list like
understood.
that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So as such, so here it looks like a vector array, like whatever the input that you're setting, it is not with the same data type. It will be with the different data types. It might be the numeric value, it might be the string value. So as such, it is going to take it up
And vector opposite
different
is
data sets.
scalar. Scalar means single value.
Mm, yes.
Okay.
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 Yeah. So here the same explanation. So related to the label and the features only. So hope you can go through this, right?
I have gone through this actually,
Oh, okay, okay,
Mamta,
okay.
in
So
medical.
I
Yeah.
just wanted,
Nursing. Yeah.
sure. Then,
Wherever I have
uh,
doubts, then I will
mm,
pause and
sure,
I will ask.
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So here, see, we have a machine learning as a function. So when we are training, so the first stage is like whenever we wanted to build a ML model. So first stage that we are going to use, we are going to train the data consist of past observation. Means we should be ready with my data set where exactly should be having the various features. So we are going to predict the value. Whatever the value that I am going to predict is called as the label. Okay. So the next stage which I'm going to do is like we have to an algorithm is applied to the data to try to determine a relationship between the feature and the label. So here, yeah, so we have multiple values. Okay, so vector values, right? So based on these values, how I need to get the outcome. So how I need, so these are the multiple historical data sets I have. So this is in this in this scenario, this is the outcome. So in the same way, based on the various data set that I had been termed, how there is a relationship between the feature and the label. So that is what we are going to define in the algorithm means how exactly it should it should predict with the new values that I'm going to give. So for that we'll be so here we are going to define the algorithm which is required. So basically this algorithm is going to give us how features and labels are dependent. Okay, so here like we can try to use this algorithm which solves my problem which I'm having, like which can easily give me the prediction on the, so by calculating the value it is going to give me the output with the various values. Like example, if I have 1 day's value, so this is the outcome, so basically it will give me easily, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever my input values matches with that, it can give me this output. If it is not matching, it can skip it.
Right.
So sometimes when I'll be not complete, when I define, even though if it is matches 50%, the logic we are going to define as such, right? So whenever the exact value equal when I do, so if it is exactly equal, I'll get the output or else I'll skip it. So when there is a 50% equal when I'm going to define, so we'll try to skip that. We can even pass it. So in that way, there are different algorithms. We're going to discuss that. So we can try to build that algorithm so to build how exactly our features and labels are interconnected. So with that, whatever the results of the algorithm is, like we are going to get the function, like we are going to get the predicted value will be defined with that. So this is what here explained in the stages. So first we are going to train with the data set, then we are going to the second stage what we are going to use, we are going to define the algorithm, then we are going to get a function out of it. So that function helps me to predict the value. So here, So whatever the trained model is there completed, so then we can use that for inferencing, means to predicting the outcome with the new values.
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Mamta, can you
Mm,
go back to the previous screen?
sure, sure.
Yeah,
Mm,
the result of the algorithm is a model.
mm.
So algorithm, the training is training means it
These
is
two will
the data
become a
history data plus algorithm
yes.
becomes
So
training. Hmm. Yeah,
yes, so these two become a training. So this training one is going to become a model,
model. The whole
trained
the
model.
two first steps.
Yes,
Yeah.
these two become a model. See,
Okay.
without, if you have even historical data, if anyone can build the just with the historical data, we can't build the AI, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Algorithms
So
has
we
to be
should,
there.
yeah, we should have my prediction. Okay, how exactly it should fetch a particular values and
Mm.
give me the output.
Mm.
So in that way, I should define my algorithm. So
Okay.
these two will become trained model. So with that, we can get certain functions. This is an output of the trained model. So this will help me to predict the value
Uh, no,
with a new value.
with this training, we get functions means I I did not get this
Predictable model.
predictable model. Predictable
Hmm.
model or predictable output we will get. The algorithm model that encapsulates the result of the algorithm.
Algorithm as a function.
Okay,
So
algorithm as a function.
it is kind of a trained model we'll get, Nazim. So
Okay,
that model is like kind of a ready to use, where
okay,
exactly you can give your new input, so it can give you the output.
okay, okay,
So
fine.
this, whatever the process, whatever the new input that you're going to give to the trained model and getting the output is there, right? So this
Yeah,
is called as the inferencing.
okay, okay.
Is it clear now?
Yeah, it is clear.
Okay. So now we have to start with understanding the different types of the machine learning. Okay.
This is like
So there
very
are
critical. I felt under this regression we have some lot of many, and binary we have
mm,
lot of many. I lost there. This till this screen I'm clear. From
mm,
next screen onwards, it's a bit.
mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So here we can just, this is one of the simple diagram which shows these many types we have. So we have supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning. So under supervised, when we say we have regression and classification. So here we have binary and multiple. And when we go with unsupervised, we have clustering. Okay. So by seeing this, what you will understand?
Yeah, actually, I have gone through, so that's the reason.
Mm,
So, supervised
mm,
machine learning will have parameters like features as well as outcome, that is label.
mm,
Whereas in unsupervised machine learning, it's a
mm,
same features as a list of same features.
mm.
And if we see in the clustering itself,
See,
we'll
if you
identify.
see
Yeah,
here
yeah,
supervised machine learning, you're going to have the list of features and
features
also you're going to predict the
labels,
label.
predict the labels. Yes.
Here you have only the list of features. Are you
Features.
are going to do any outcome?
Here we are not getting any outcome.
Yes. So in the unsupervised machine learning, so we are not going to predict the outcome from the features that you're going to give. And inside this, you can see when you see the clustering, so you are going to do different grouping. Okay. So grouping is based on the similarities. Even though you have different types of the things, but based on similarity, you're going to do the grouping.
Okay.
So when you, this you can take it as an example. When you are going to get the forming, when you're going to get the different types of the flowers count, so you might be having multiple type of a flowers. Based on
Yes.
that, so even though the color is different, okay, sometimes even if you take rose, it might be different in color or
Yeah.
different in
White. Yeah.
size, but it is grouped with the similar features.
Now, then if
No.
it is just a
uh,
grouping or will have some
yes.
outcome.
So I'll tell you that. Okay. So now by seeing just this image, we can just understand that here we are going to take the multiple features and we are going to group them into the different types of based on the similar features we are going to do into different groups.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So when we do regression and classification, so we are going to predict based on various parameters. Right now we took the ice cream sale, right? So we can take the multiple input parameters and then we are going to predict the sale of the ice cream. And here like we are going like whatever the conditions that we are going to take, so based on that we are going to predict only one value,
Yeah.
just the
That will
sale.
be a numeric.
But yes, so when we are doing the classification, it is kind of a different. So different, we might be having multiple labels and also multiple inputs also. And based on different features that we are going to do, we are going to classify different types of the labels that I'm going to expect as well. So this is, we'll go one by one in detail, okay?
Sure.
So before this is like a supervised machine learning, how exactly we can try to go here. So before we'll go here, I'll just show you a simple way how exactly you can try to set up the uh, machine learning pipeline.
Okay. Mamta, just curious to know, as of now, we are considering only that four modules, right? For that exam, that it is
Mm,
shown percentage 25 to 30%, 15 to 20%, something. Those
yes,
those only first we are covering, or
yes, that
how?
is only. That is
Okay.
only. I'm going whatever the modules are that I'm taking in depth only. So still I am in here only.
Yeah.
So we can extend if you want the session during the weekends. Not a worry for that, but you have to be confident. That's it.
Uh, is 1 week sufficient? First question,
Sufficient.
Mamta.
Yeah, yeah, sufficient. Yeah,
Why? Because Monday I'm planning Monday or Tuesday. So
you
tomorrow
can do.
mostly I will try to book
Mm.
that.
Sure, sure. So here we can, as I told you, right? So you can create a
Resource group.
mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried this, going and seeing that auto learning,
Mm,
auto machine learn. Second one is designer,
mm, mm,
note, notebook. So,
mm. Okay.
and also I tried
Let it.
yeah,
Mm,
preparing that, checking
mm,
the predefined data sets,
mm, mm.
and dragging and dropping. I have done those,
Very good.
whatever you have said, not beyond that. Even
No
I don't
problem.
have.
Mm.
Yeah.
We'll do that today. So here, when we talk about supervised machine learning, so it is like so basically whatever we had been segregated here is the algorithm types which we are going to define. So for that we'll be calling as supervised and unsupervised. Both will refer to the algorithms only. But only the difference is how exactly you're going to group the values that we are going to take. So based on that we had been segregated into the supervised and unsupervised. Okay. So here when we take uh, usually we know that we'll be taking for the data set preparation both the features and the labels which we are going to consider. Okay. So here when I'll take about the supervised, so it will try to determine relationship between both the features and the labels based on the past observation. Okay. So that means we are going to unknown labels can be predicted based on the uh, feature like the past values. Okay.
Okay.
So this is very important from the examination.
Unknown labels can be predicted for features.
In
Predicted for
future
features.
cases.
Features
Yeah.
in
So
future.
based Yes, whatever the feature that will be given, like x1, x2. So
Yeah.
this is the noun values. Okay. So when I go to the in the future, so I am going to predict a label.
Why?
This is outcome. Here it is already the noun label is noun here for the previous values. But we are going to predict the unknown label in the future for the features. So
Okay.
whatever the new features that I'm going to get it means for the new inputs that I am going to get, new features that I'm going to give, I'm going to predict the this is also features also unknown here. Okay. The unknown
Okay.
predict. So unknown label I'm going to predict here.
Some random parameters I will pass, which is a new features, and I will get
Hmm.
new outcome.
Yes. So you don't know what is an outcome. Based
Okay.
on the historical data that you had given, so you're going to predict it. Okay. So during this, we are going to call, I mean, for this process, okay, whether whatever the features that I'm going to have, whatever the features that I'll be for the feature specific features, I'm going to predict the unknown label, okay, which I'm going to use it for my prediction. Okay. So here, when we talk about the if I take the example, okay, we have two different types. We know that regression and the classification. So when we talk about the regression, so it is one of the form of supervised machine learning that we know that. So in which the label predicted by the model is a numeric value. So it is like it is going to, this is important. So whatever the label that I'm going to predict by the specific model means this is already the trained model I'll be using. Correct. So
Yeah.
the trained model, trained one, which we are going to call it as a model. So with whatever the model, trained model I am having, so that is going to give me the numeric value, okay, as an outcome. So the label is when the label is numeric, that is going to be called as a regression model. Okay. So here if we take the example of ice cream sold in a given day, so here it will give me 10 ice creams or it is going to give me 50 ice creams. So in that way, it is going to give me the numeric values in a specific given day. So based on the various parameters, these are the features. So this is the unknown. This is based on the noun label. It is going to give me the unknown label.
Yeah.
So another example is selling price of the property based on its size in a square feet. So what is the selling price of the property? It is a numeric value, right?
Yes.
So here it may consider the features may consider even different values. Okay, like number of bedrooms it contains and socio-economic metrics which are present. These are, see, socio-economic metrics we can't give in the form of numeric only. See, features might be any form, but so the whatever the outcome that I'm getting should be in the numeric form. And then
Yeah.
fuel efficiency, usually fuel efficiency will be getting in the form of percentage, right? So 7
Yes.
percentage, 8 percentage as such. So fuel percentage of a car, so based on its engine size, weight and width, okay, which I'm going to predict it.
Yeah.
So in the same way we'll be having classification model. So when we'll be having classification module, so label whatever we are getting, that is going to represent a categorization or a particular class we are going to consider. Okay. So here we'll be using like examples we can take will be good. So basically we'll be having two different types when we go with the classification. So one is binary classification and multiple classification. So when we are doing the binary classification, whatever the label that we'll be getting, that outcome which I'm going to get, so whatever this label that determines whether the observed item is an instance of a specific class or not. Okay, means uh, whatever the outcome that I'll be getting, so it is belongs to that particular values which I am going to give or not. So from the specific given instance that I'm getting a value or not, it is going to predict. So if I wanted to take some example, So when I wanted to decide, okay, whether a patient is at risk for a diabetes or not, so here the outcome might be true or false, correct? So
Yes.
I can take multiple parameters like weight, age, blood glucose level, and so on. So outcome of it, so whether he's vulnerable for the diabetes or not. So based on my condition, I can say either yes or true or no. These are the two outcomes that I can try to predict it. So
Okay.
here, when I'll be setting different predictable parameters, even I can say probability of having the diabetes. So
Yes.
here I can just, even when we wanted to set the probability, so I can say he is having, like, that is kind of a score that I can get how much confident this model is in predicting. So okay, 100% the patient is already a diabetic patient, or he is about to get, means he's right now he didn't got the diabetes. So in that
Okay.
way it is going to say the predictable outcome, means it is not in the numeric value.
Okay.
And also whether a bank customer will default on a loan based on income or not, by default whether he is going to get a loan or not, this is also in the form of yes or no,
Okay.
whether he is going to get the no loan or not. And whether a mailing list customer will respond positively to a marketing offer based on the demographic attributes and past purchases. Here also my outcome should be in the form of yes and no. So it is going to, based on the observed values, it is going to give a specific kind of a response, whether the condition is going to be true or false. Okay, so usually when we go about the binary classification, so it is going to predict some binary values like true or false, positive or negative, kind of a uh, s- uh, just with a single instance they'll give the response for you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so when we go with the multiple classification model, so it is kind of an like extended version of the binary classification. Okay, they will predict a label that represent one of the multiple possible classes, like where I told there are multiple prediction that we can do with the given parameter, right? So even when
Mm.
we take the species of the penguin, I wanted to identify based on their physical measurement. During that time there are multiple species available. Okay, so you had got multiple features, feature 1, feature 2. So by using these features, you wanted to predict
Yeah.
the species. So species also there are multiple, right? So
Yes.
based on this condition, which one matches you need to map? Like you might be having one, two, there might be different 50 species. Out of 50 species, you need to map which is the which species it belongs based on these features.
Okay. So the multi-class classification means the features will be more and the labels also will be more.
Yes, yes. So here,
And
like you can't predict only one label, right? So like means you can, we can predict like one label only sometimes, but what happens is like it might be having multiple options as an outcome,
okay. Okay.
and it may not be certainly numeric value.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So here another example they had given the genre of movie uh, based on its cast, director, and budget. So we wanted to define which category that movie is is belongs to, based on like who are all participating in that movie, who is the director, and based on the budget. So if I have these three parameters, I can predict whether the movie is horror movie, or romance, or adventure, or science
Uh,
fiction.
or
So
it can be both comedy horror, or
yeah,
it can be.
yes, yes. So during that time, I can usually what happens, it is one of the label.
Okay.
Sometimes what happens, it might be more than one valid label, can be outcome of the one observation. So it is combination of comedy and the horror.
Okay.
Okay. So
Observation means the outcome only, right,
yes,
Mamta? Okay.
yes. Yeah. So here basically you can see there are when we are doing the multi-label classification model, so the word itself defines it may be more than one valid label for a single observation. Like when you give single set of features, so for that you may get more predictable outcomes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is what like movie could potentially be categorized as both science fiction and comedy, which you're going to give it.
Single
So
observation means, sorry, single observation means for a single feature.
single feature set which you're going to give,
Okay.
not single
Single
feature, single feature sets. Like
set, I mean, list of
yeah.
F1, yeah.
So here,
Okay.
like if you wanted to decide, you see, just with the cast, you can't predict whether it is a comedy horror, right? So for
Yes.
that, they had been designed this algorithm based on three different features, like cast,
Okay.
directors, and budget. During that time, you have to give your all these are features, right? You have to provide these features, then only you can predict the outcome.
Okay.
Okay. So next is the unsupervised machine learning. So can we talk about this tomorrow session?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine for me.
Yeah. So before this, I'll go to the resources. Today you can try to do that. Lazim,
And
you can
yeah,
try to practice.
and under this one, machine learning itself, in if I
Mm,
remember correctly, uh, sorry, what is that? First one, regression. Under regression itself, we have multiple
mm,
regressions, plus
mm,
we have some errors. I
mm.
mean, I was like, do we get from those errors and some questions, Mamta?
No, 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 we don't get it. You don't need to worry much about that errors and all. So here we'll just start with the designer here. So when we start with the designer, so we can try to create a classic pre-built components. So these are like already some pre-built components are there. So we can try to use those pre-built components to build my model. Okay. So here, when I create this particular model, this is kind of a library where I'll be getting all the required data sets that I want. Okay. So here, when I want certain data sets, I can try to drag and drop my data sets which I want. So let's assume I'm going to build some data set based on the restaurant ratings. I'm running a restaurant, so I just wanted to, based on the different historical data of the restaurant ratings, different parameters and weights. So I just wanted to build my model. So once I set as build a base, once I set up the existing data, so I can try to preview this data.
Okay.
So this is like we can, so right now it is having the data related to the user ID, place ID, and who is going to give the rating. Okay.
Okay.
So different user IDs and place IDs and what is the rating that I am getting, kind of a historical data I'm having. So based on this, I wanted to set up my own columns and I wanted to build the data. So I can set up my different types of the select column data I wanted to select it. So I can use select columns in the data set which are present. So here I wanted to take this up. When I take this up, this is kind of a data which I'll be having. I can try to connect these two. So this is the kind of we are going to design our data sets, how exactly it should be interdependent. Okay. So now I can try to build, define this column sets. Okay. So when I wanted to define this column sets, I can try to add. Okay, I wanted to add a user ID and then I wanted to add place ID and I wanted to add uh, the rating as well. Okay, this is how I'm going to define my column sets. So inside that I want some output. how exactly you should define as well. So to generate the output, how what are the different, whether to force generating output. So default one I wanted to use, like it is kind of based on the different mode how my output should be displayed. Okay, so right now I'll just try to use the default output settings which I wanted to use it based on certain. This will be present in the workspace blob store which we had been created. So here the input settings, read only mount we are having. If I wanted to set up my runtime environment, right? So I can define my compute target. So what is meant by compute target is like I'm going to create my runtime environment. Like if you create your pipeline, right, where exactly it should run? It should have some space, right? So for
Okay.
that, I need to define default. Yeah. So I can create my Azure ML cluster. So here you can, means kind of certain backup that you want, right, to run your pipelines.
Okay. So normally, whenever
So
we run pipeline, we run on the
mm,
hosted agents or on our
yes,
on-premises
that
agents.
hosted agent is nothing but the space which you will be getting from the cloud providers, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like that only to run your instances, we are going to create a by default the specific VM in the Azure itself. So you can try to set up your name, like kind of a virtual machine name that you're going to create. So I can set is a VM setup new. Then what is the type, whether it is based on the GPU or CPU. And see, these are different types of the recommended type of the images that I can try to select it. So then scheduling, how exactly your our VM should be scheduled, configured. Okay, start and stop based on our application runtime. So this we are going to go with. We can try to disable this one, auto shutdown and all. So then we can try to use the security configurations. These are all related to the VM configurations before we create an instances. So we can go with the optional one, tags and all. Okay, this is basic instance which we are going to create it. So once we create the instance, so we can try to select our own instance that we had been created
Okay.
to use it as a runtime environment.
Okay.
So yeah,
So now we have created just a data set, a custom data set on
yeah,
top of
good.
the
Mm,
existing or the predefined data set.
yes.
So now we are trying to run the custom data set or the we are deploying the model on
We
the
have
via
not
pipeline.
created it the model.
Okay.
So we are just defining what are the parameters that it is there when it is has
Okay.
to run, where exactly it should run. That's it we can define here.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So once we created here, we can try to use different data configurations once we have done. So later, after that, we can try to configure and submit. So it's not selecting.
Please select a default compute to run a pipeline. It is
Mhm.
telling me.
It is, there is no build default option only. Okay, it's default. Okay. It is recommending to use the default only rather than using the created one. The resources and size, where exactly? This is to regenerate the outcome.
Instance count. Okay.
Yeah. So now we can try to see our changes over here. We are able to save this. Let us just go back to the, okay. Okay. So now we can see our data set which had been created and the different columns data which are present, we can try to create it. So after that we can try to use different types of the, so if I can try to use this particular data set as well. So in this way, I'll just tell you based on what exactly you can try to define this particular data set and try to build a particular data pipeline which you want. Here also we can try to add the different columns. I'll be getting it. So we can try to get the various columns. Here I can only define the different types of the column. Like I wanted to get it from based on the specific price related column. So once we predict, so we can try to see the various kind of a data sets which had been linked. So these are different types of the, this is kind of a data. So based on that, we are going to define it in the form of a parameters which I want. Okay.
So that is features. Feature one, feature two,
Yes.
feature three. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just stop here. You can just try to go and drag and drop and try to create the environment and try to set it up this. So we'll continue from tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one call. I'm just
Oh,
postponing it. Okay. Yeah.
sure. And regarding the exam
Mm,
questions,
mm.
Mamta,
I will share that. Yeah. Tell me.
I will go through meanwhile in the
Sure, sure.
morning
You
sometime.
can go through that related to the ML. So you will be getting for sure related to the features and labels. For sure, type of supervised, unsupervised, and binary and multi-classification models.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you can go through that. You will, so try to solve questions related to that, even with the free assessment as well. So then you will be more understanding you will be getting.
Okay.
Okay,
Fine.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.